Hello guys, my name is CS2. In this video I would like to talk about VP and Spirit concept. In previous video I was talking about macro things, there was a lot of concepts, and you can actually merge it together into one and call it a Spirit or VP concept. Now before I want to start with this kind of like a macro thing, I want to start with the more kind of like a simplest version of it, and that's just kind of like a starter for you as an op, for example. So if you're opper, or I think you can use it even as a rifle, but mainly as an opper is either maintenance guy, you can say, or he's either like the guy that is in charge, okay? So I think Nuke is like the best example for maintenance guy on CT, but I mean you can use like for example T as well. It doesn't matter, it could be CTT, whatever map, it's always working. So for example, as an op on T side Inferno, you can support banana, right, with those flashes. For example, if you're 3B, you can support for them, or you can be in charge, swap with your teammates, one teammate holding this flash, you are holding car, and then now you're in charge, right? It could be also in this situation when you want to go contact B and you hold for them CT while they are progressing through, or that's the Spirit again. Or you can use the VP, which is in charge, which means you're gonna search and they're gonna hold you CT, they're gonna hold you runes, and you search further and try to get like open, and then you go out, right? So this is how it works. Spirit is kind of like a passive, more supportive maintenance, and VP is like the more aggressive when you search, when you take a charge and stuff like this. You want to balance it out though. So for example, also on brackets is the same, right? You can either flash core them with brackets to take it and support, or you can also support in a sense that you're just holding short, that's it. For example, teammates are taking long, they want to take further control with this split smoke, and you're gonna hold for them short with up, right? Or you can switch it up and say, guys, I want to search for this, right? For example, you pick long, right? For example, they molly for you coming, you are still holding, you're in charge, that's how it works, right? And so you can either use the concept Spirit or VP. Now, how is it actually similar to the macro concepts that I talked about in previous video? Is that you can actually use it again on CT side or T side, you can actually use it in the same variation. So, as we say, CS is about give and take, right? So, let's say T's will take brackets. On banana, if you don't have banana actually, and you're right here, and they're taking brackets, you can search banana, right? Because it should be clear, it should be like a free space. And that's the Spirit reaction. You give them something, they take brackets, and you take back banana. They are taking heavy banana, and you take brackets. So it's like a give and take kind of thing. And that's what Spirit is all about, right? You give them something and you take the opposite. The point is that you can also do a different reaction, and that's VP. VP is when you give them something, but you take it back. And how does it work is that, for example, as a CT, you know, T's will take brackets control like this, and instead of aggressing banana, what you're gonna do is that, okay guys, let's do VP, let's go on short. You regroup all teams together, you're chilling, you check for example this, you check mid and they check closer and they trade each other. Now what's gonna happen is that most of the teams obviously know it's give and take concept. So what will happen after bracket stake is that if they want to take fast banana, one lurker will just stay there, for example in boiler, right, to play sides, and other players will rotate towards banana, right, executing me. Also what can happen is that they can hold brackets, but what can you do is that you can actually surprise them by having an advantage over them in a sense of numbers and winning the fights and retaking the space kind of. And this is really good because it's gonna I don't know, you play with the head of opponents as well, which is pretty good because you know they for example are sure that they're gonna have this space and they are counting on that, but you actually do the opposite. Instead of taking banana, you actually retake the brackets, and then that's how you win in those situations because you're really unpredictable in those stakes. So there is no only Spirit reaction on macro, but also VP reaction on macro, and I think this is really important to understand. On CT, for example, as an op, I mean, you can use it as rifle as well, playing aggressive passive. On CT is the same, right? You can, I don't know, like you can you do your early stuff, right? You peek, or you're gonna just hold, which is, you can say Spirit. This is Spirit, and this is VP. You are really aggressively taking the risk. Now after F you fall back, and again, you can take it to your own control. So for example, you have first contact right here, or you can play more passive safe and hold, for example, Boiler, while your teammate is playing more committed towards mid, right? So more like supporting for him. And yeah, it could be all the way. It could be in every situation, and I think this concept is really good to know.